Okay,
There we
everybody.
go.
Also, Comics Podcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. News of the week. News of the week. Go Birds. Eagles won last week. Topical
For those who care and
for
those who
those who
don't.
care. We killed it. Of course, we destroyed the city. I don't know how many millions of dollars of property damage, stores, lots of stuff. So,
But
but
you know what? After that damage, they still had a parade.
and then probably more damage. So, way to go. No problem. So
That's fine.
let's get in some plugs. Let's hook it up this week. Happy day. Let's see. Let's get some things. Share. Plugs, plugs, plugs. Okay. Let me switch this. Oh, where are you? I'm not seeing your picture. Are you seeing your picture? Oh, there you go. Okay.
There we go.
All
First
right.
and foremost, this is the Awestruck Comics Facebook page. We don't have anything to do with our podcast yet, but it does have little comic strips on it. This is one of the earlier ones I wrote, and Brian drew it for our little Frenzy comic book, but then he redrew it for the Awestruck Comics webpage. Um, and that's it. Funny comics, and eventually it'll be more attached to the podcast, but right now it is not. Um,
We got
I
the
have my Rob
recoloring.
Messick. That was colored by our friend. Oh yeah, what I do on my Twitter page is just find comics to art from all over the internet. Anything I have, I'll scan my artwork. I'll find stuff online, rare stuff, stuff people have never seen. In this case, it's comparing the original cover to Youngblood #3 to the recolored version from the 2006-ish Joe Casey recollection. So it's really neat. On the left, you see Brian Murray. On the right, you see Matt Yackey. And I do
Uh,
that. And I try to post stuff every day.
yeah, the Vault edition is when? That's April, March, April.
April, the 33rd anniversary of Youngblood 1 and Image Comics, I guess, really, as far as publishing something.
Hmm.
Another something cool I found, Sam Keith original art that was used as a Marvel Tales cover. Beautiful. The guy, I'm such a big fan of Sam Keith, especially 90s Sam Keith. Um, Hulk, Spider-Man, X-Men, and Mark's favorite, Wood God.
Wood God, baby. That's right. He drew Wood God on the other one. I think the one you had last week. Does that sound right? Or
Yeah,
he
yeah, it
drew.
was a different
Yeah.
one. Right, right. Um,
Brian Murray.
Maximum, that's right. Uh, this is cover Supreme #6. Awesome fight between Supreme and Chrome. Chrome is like them trying to do their version of like a Doomsday. Only they said their version of Supreme's not a pussy and he won't die like Superman.
Wow. That's
Good, good comic. It was fun, fun stuff.
Carome.
Every day I'm doing another page from Supreme. I'm up to like 1,200, 1,300 pages. So come along and join the fun. What
Carome.
you got? What you got going on?
This is my background. We'll talk about this in reviews day, but this is the
Yeah,
Bug Wars. Really friggin' fun. Conan, but Honey I Shrunk the Kid meets Conan. So really,
It's
really cool
people
book.
kept trying to
Honestly,
say Micronauts, but I didn't really see
nah,
that.
nah. It's not. Micronauts is more spaceships, not
Yeah,
barbarians per se.
but it does
Uh,
have a ring to it. Of solar opposites. Solar opposites have a subplot
oh right.
of tiny people, and first they lived in the wall, but now they live in the yard. It's unintentional. It's not like anyone's trying to rip anyone off. It's just there. It's all Honey I Shrunk the Kids. It's all Tales to Astonish #27. What's first Ant-Man? Something like that.
Yeah, right. Yep. This is So I'm working on a P. Craig Russell month. This was from Imagine #2. Is that right? Let's see. Imagine. No, it's Night Music too. So
Look at that. I liked it for you.
you did. There he is. Robin, that's your Robin 676.
Rob 76 on Instagram. Don't go there.
Uh,
Nothing important.
Nothing. And then if you go through, I have lots of Hostess ads, and then I also have it that I I have the ad itself, where it came from, or what it's published in at least a month, and then the next 2 pages that I have there are I found a checklist that was from like an alter ego, so I'm crossing them off. So I'll get all of them.
Good.
I actually found one kind of early that I searched for something else, and I found one that was not on the list. So I'm just like, whoa, it was like a Bugs Bunny or something like that. So, but it was not on the
So
checklist, the official, unofficial,
is
collective
there a
checklist.
checklist of parodies too, of how many parodies there have been of Hostess type ads?
No, that would be you can do that. You can have that. So we'll
Yeah, yeah.
pop into some of the news. So I don't know what this is, but
Well, real quick, show my background
oh yeah.
if you want to, or just
Oh yeah. You
make
gotta
my
send
image big. But the
you
point
just
is,
said.
I got the Walt Simonson commission. Somebody commissioned this. I don't know how many
Right.
pages of original art it is. 20? And it's just this incredible image. We've talked about it before. Let me move aside so people can see it. But it is a beautiful, beautiful page.
Yeah, you can see Sir in the
Pages,
middle.
pages. I can't imagine what it cost. I don't know what this guy's going to do with it. Is he going to get a frame this big? Just one giant,
I guess
incredible
there's a
frame?
picture of Simonson like standing next to it, right? Because he has like no
Yeah.
shoes on. Like he's like
hmm
working on it on this giant board. That's cool. That's cool. I don't know where he lives. I think he lives in North Jersey or outside New York. I'm not sure.
I believe you're correct.
I know
Um,
he's down a little bit sometimes. I ran into
yeah,
John Workman's daughter at a comic shop when she was shopping about something, and I showed her a book that literally the book I was buying like a set of Hammerlock, which was a Chris Sprouse. Trying to think who wrote that. But anyway, John Workman lettered that. The one thing I'm buying from the store was like $8. It was like $1 an issue, basically.
it's
Hammerlock.
funny. There was an issue of Supreme that Chris Sprouse had drawn, and in the background was
Hmm.
like a coming soon movie poster. It was like Hammerlock the movie.
Right.
I'm like, that's
Yeah,
funny.
I love it.
Um, you gotta wonder these people who buy these commissions. Like somebody, Andrew Griffin is a Transformers artist, really detailed, really good, up there with like Don Figueroa. And this guy commissioned a Transformers piece that was like every G1 Transformers
Mhm.
on, and it's probably 17 pages of original art. And I'm like, how do you showcase that? Like it'd be
Right.
horrible to just have it like in a box, you know?
Right, right,
Like
right.
that's like a wall. It's like a wall of artwork. I can imagine the people who bought like, remember Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti's Extreme connecting covers?
Hmm.
Or Travis
Yeah.
Charest's connecting covers, Will's Portacio's Wildstorm connecting covers. Like the people who own those, I hope they own all of them. I know the guy who has the Casada owns all of them.
Mm.
Um, I hope you're displaying them. Like you just walk into your house and there's a wall of like 12 connecting covers.
Yeah, I guess you lay them down then and tape them up on the back, I guess, if they're, 'cause it's all original pages and they're all full bleed. So they got to be, I guess, yeah.
That's how I'd want to see them. You don't buy that and put it in a box with your other art.
Maybe they're not full bleed. Maybe they had the zoom stat 'em. I don't know.
It's good. It's a good question. I mean, all
Scary.
three of those we just named were drawn in the 90s, so
Yeah.
it was Photoshop was a little more limited then.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I don't
Um,
know if there's a good stitch of those.
there was a talk of the extreme ones. There's not. Um, but there was talk of doing a poster back in the 90s, but I don't think it never happened. And a couple of years ago, the guy who owns all the artwork, I guess Liefeld got in touch with them or through like a middle person. And there was talk of doing something then, but then, the whole rights issue happened. But now that he's got him back, let's see him, let's do
Yeah.
something with them. Let's get that print poster, get them recolored. If you have the original art, you can get them recolored and then you can really make something awesome out of them.
Yeah.
There's
Awesome.
a lot there.
Awesome out of 'em.
That's right. You make something a little more extreme out of them. It'd be an
Or
extreme.
just sell it on as whatnots, because I know that the 11 by 17 I think he has, but I think the only ones he has is 11 by 17, the new Youngblood print is only signed, I think, at this point. I don't think that he does just regular ones. It's still limited.
Right.
So let's jump into the news. Kind of a light news
All
week,
right.
but still found some stuff this morning.
It's a
This
light news week.
is
We'll find a way to make it last
original
3 hours.
original manga there. Um, this looks almost like an interpretation manga, which is actually kind of interesting, as I feel like even that costume, even the Spider-Man costume looks a little bit different. So this is a Marvel to publish Spider-Man Shadow Warrior original manga, Shogo Aoki. I don't know what this is, but I'm sure that's going to work. That's through Scholastic,
That's
September.
fun. Spider-Man's great for manga interpretation. Spider-Man's great for any interpretation, you know, whether it's manga.
We wouldn't have the Power Rangers if it wasn't for Spider-Man. Technically, like the Toho Spider-Man licensing that deal was done.
It's
The
true. It's true.
documentary on the Disney Plus. So
And that's neat. I
got the
thought this image was kind of good looking.
Frank
Frank
Miller
Miller drawn a
variant.
variant. Yeah. The Amazing Spider-Man number 70.
What is behind her? What do you think? Is she on the side of a building? Would that be a building thingy? Like she's breaking into something maybe? I don't know. So there's Amazing Spider-Man 70 Frank Miller variant. Uh,
he keeps doing them, and you know what? Marvel's smart to say keep them coming.
but
Why
what's
not?
number 70?
It's
Is
not the
that
last issue. I don't think. Is it Joe Kelly? It is Joe Kelly. Ed McGuinness and Kafu
okay. Oh, it's nice he came
Prince.
back. He came back for the end. So Joe Kelly came back for the end of his epic storyline, which he's done I think two issues of, and they're having I think this month they're having a death issue, a
They
point
are
deaths
60
issue.
a 68 point death. It's 68. I did see that.
Who's drawing it? Do you know who's working on it? Mark
No,
Buckingham. It's Mark Buckingham's return.
I I know. I
Like
knew about
that's
Mark
cool.
Buckingham returning to Amazing Spider-Man. He told me in Baltimore, and I just assumed when he told me that it was going to be after he was done Miracle Man Dark Age. Not I didn't realize we were going to have this horrible Neil Gaiman cancellation slash,
Mm.
death of Miracle Man,
Yep, way to
at
go.
least for now. It's at least for now. People get over these things, and I think we'll see stuff in the future, but it's a temporary hold.
I don't think so. I think we'll never see it. Never see Miracle Man again. It's over.
Well, what's the name?
It's over, Johnny.
They're thinking about bringing what's the name back for Kang. So sometimes it's a wait and see situation.
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, he's
I'm
got
bad
a
with names.
it's a situation. I think the Jonathan Majors situation is that like he literally was not convicted, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That's right. He
Like
was
it had
convicted in the court of opinions.
that's right. So, but he was literally all charges were dropped. They couldn't prove anything, and then that was it. So awesome. But yes, but he was already fired off of Kang. They already went a different direction. That they're lazy, so let's grab Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. will just take the dump truck of money and just
Listen,
take
I
that.
know it's going to impress us. The movie's going to be good, and we'll like it, and we'll love Robert Downey's performance.
I don't
But
know.
it's so weird beforehand.
I don't know if I
Like
like
it's
Russo
so
brothers doing anything else. So we'll see. Because what they did Gray Man, is that right?
right.
I couldn't get through 20, like 10 minutes of that movie. I
I
don't
didn't
know. I can't get
I didn't watch it.
through any of these like other movies that are. I don't know. I just need a superhero in it, I think. I don't know. All right. Anyway,
I think you're right. It's weird to see an action movie that's not superhero or John Wick.
yeah, John Wick's, and that was. I don't think we were expecting John Wick to be good. So, and then it surprised
No,
us, and then
nobody
it ended up
was.
being great. So
Nobody was
it was
expecting it. We're
almost direct
just
to
like
video. Does that sound right? I think it
it
was
looks right.
close.
It was close.
Close.
Thank God.
Here's
Because
some
I love
ultimate solicits. We are still not really caring. Ultimate Black Panther has a destined love affair, so they're bringing Storm in there, which I guess Storm is not in Ultimate X-Men at all, right? Because that Ultimate X-Men is a whole other thing, which
is she
should
not
be
in
its
it,
own
or is it
thing.
just we just not including Ultimate X-Men in the Ultimate Universe?
I don't know. I feel like it should not have been named. That's a CB Cebulski situation where he wanted
Yeah,
Uchimoko to do it. So I guess
I
that's
get it.
okay. It's too far. It doesn't feel like a cohesive universe. The Ultimate
No,
Wolverine, there's a reason why Ultimate Wolverine is outselling probably Ultimate X-Men by 2 to 1 or more. Like there's a
yeah,
reason because we want to see what that is going to do. But it's kind of almost in tradition because I think even Ultimate X-Men when it first came out didn't hit as hard as Ultimate Spider-Man. Like it took a while to get a rhythm. It
no.
didn't get
Peach
a rhythm.
Momoko has her fans, and it sold good. It's just Ultimate Spider-Man gave 40-year-olds something to dig into. They're
Right,
almost two different books for two different sets of people.
right, right, right.
There's a crossover for sure. I have definite friends who like both, but they're for two different audiences. So it's kind of a weird move to call that Ultimate X-Men when it's not traditionally Ultimate.
Yeah, but there is no Black Panther book, so this is kind of the complete Black Panther book. Like this is everyone's Black Panther book for the most part, and
There
it's not that
was a,
different.
I was going to say, I'm not reading it. Like I'm glancing at it, but I'm just like, I wasn't reading the last Black Panther series either, so I was just kind of glancing through that. And honestly, I could have picked up either one, and I couldn't tell you the difference.
No, but
And that's a
it's
problem.
yeah, but we saw like you're seeing Sabretooth there. So Ultimate Sabretooth. So you don't
Which
like it because it looks like a werewolf a little bit.
I
It's
don't know
Black
yet.
White
I
Knight.
said from this image, he looks a little too werewolfy.
Yeah,
But he's a Sabretooth, not a werewolf. So, but I love Sabretooth. So give me all some Sabretooth. It's going to be interesting because this universe is different. It's different from the traditional universe. It's different from Marvel. So what's the Wolverine Sabretooth relationship here? In the
right.
original Ultimate Universe, Sabretooth thought Wolverine was his dad, you know?
They're playing around with the
So
tropes. They reverse
Yes.
troped it. Reverse
Yes.
trope. Is Ultimate Wolverine, is that ongoing? Do we know?
I assume from the sales it is because they're
Hmm.
talking about issue 5 here. So
Yeah.
honestly, why not? You know what it is? It's Marvel, so it's wait and see. If it sells good, then it's an ongoing. If it doesn't, then it's a miniseries. It's a surprise miniseries.
Surprise. Uh,
Surprise, issue 7 conclusion.
yeah. There's I don't know. This is a I don't know. This is a Capcom game, I guess. Monster Hunter. I don't know what this is, but I'll take it. Any Transformers, I'll take it. So this
Listen,
is the an X. So they do these like I didn't like they did a Godzilla Transformers thing, but it didn't look cool. I didn't think it
no.
looked that good. Nah, I was like, it doesn't look like a good Godzilla. It doesn't look like a good
You know what you need?
Transformer.
There's
So
a bootleg Godzilla Grimlock mashup that came out in I think the 80s. And it's basically the Grimlock design, Grimlock transforming,
mhm.
but it's kind of Godzilla, but not completely. It's not either one, which makes it awesome. It's really
Yeah,
shitty.
yeah, yeah. That's what I want. I want something. I want something like that.
It
So
looks like something the kid Sid would have made from Toy Story.
that's funny. Um, did you watch this promo? This like this like TNT promo with Shaq like critiquing. He's basically critiquing the new Superman costume that was on display somewhere.
Yeah, why? Was he like, if it's
He just
not,
says
I'm
he
super, is
says
he like, I'm Superman? Did he show off his tattoo?
kind of. Well,
I'm
he
making
was
fun of,
saying this didn't fit. He's like, that's not going to fit. Like the I'm a little bit bigger now. I need a bigger belt, and the biceps are too small, and the boots look too small. And then like David Cornsway jumps up next to him and is kind of like, well, it's my suit. And then James Gunn comes over all goofy, and then he's like, sorry, Shaq, and Shaq walks down the hallway like pissed. So it's okay. I just
did,
like
did they
I
mention Steel? Like,
no,
is there still
they
room
don't
for
mention
Steel?
Steel. No, they just
No,
don't.
because nobody should mention Steel.
Well, I guess the only yeah there is a tag joke, at the end where he says something about he's gonna have Charles Barkley in it or something like that. I'm gonna have Charles Barkley in the new Superman movie. He's like, screw you, or Shaq's pissed off. He leaves.
Who who did the SNL incredible Shaq impersonation? Was it like wasn't Jay Phoenix, right? Who
Jay Farrow.
Jay Farrow, I mean, yeah. Was he it was
I don't
him, right?
remember. I think so.
Wow,
Yeah.
such a funny impression of Shaq. Because he does like the eyes crossed and talks just like him. It's really good.
Yeah. I don't understand the marketing of this. We got Super Bowl. Super Bowl, just real quick, the trailers, basically. I think so. They had a 20 or 30-second Thunderbolts, which you can go online and
Right.
see like a 2-minute Thunderbolts, which I thought was really good. You basically see the Void. So is the Sentry going to be on the team, or is he just going to be the Void, or is it going to be both?
He's probably going to be both.
Going to be both. So, but no, I think it that could kind of work. I think that that's going to work more so than a Cap. I think is I don't know how Cap's doing this weekend, the Captain America.
Well, if you compare the shows these directors came from, I think I enjoyed Beef better than Winter Soldier Falcon.
Mhm.
And I liked Winter Soldier Falcon. I liked it a lot,
Right.
but Beef is like really good.
Right. But see what you're
So
doing there.
like,
You're literally flipping it. So what's
yeah,
funny about that is it's Falcon Winter Soldier, and you flipped it because you like the Winter Soldier's plot line maybe more than the Falcon storyline. So I don't know. I feel like that both of these. I don't think that they wanted more of a heavier integration with like Falcon Winter Soldier is going to explain who Cap uh US agent is here in Thunderbolts, right? And
right,
then you're going to
right.
have but you just saw Cap and they had to kind of still kind of like, hey, by the way, you kind of missed this whole arc of Cap. Or was he hesitant Cap again? Is he still
No,
hesitant
no, he
Cap?
he's definitely no, he's definitely full cap. Other people might be a
Full
little
Cap, no
hesitant,
Cap.
No, but he does a good job. I don't know if I want to give a whole review here, but I like the movie. This movie starts off strong and it ends strong. The middle, a little bit of a mishmash. You can
Hmm.
see there's some editing. There's just stuff going on.
Oh,
But
is Diamondback in it? Did they cut her completely? She out completely?
completely, completely. In
Dude,
fact, I didn't
Rosa
even.
Salazar cannot catch a
Oh my
break,
God,
man. She
totally
can't
forgot
catch
she
a
was
break.
in it.
Yeah.
Did I even
Sabra,
see
they
her?
rearranged it a little bit, right? Sabra's still in it.
Yeah,
She girl bosses, from what I understand.
she
Kicks a
does. She
giant
yeah
man's
she
ass.
she's very weird to watch act. I'm not really familiar. I've seen her in something. I forget what. Her face is very unique looking. She's neat.
No good. No good.
She's
So,
but yeah, oh my God, I totally forgot about Diamondback being cut out, even
yeah.
though we talked about it a couple weeks ago.
Yep. Because originally it was supposed to be Serpent Society, and I think they had a guy, and it was called New World Order.
It was called
right?
New World
And
Order,
then
right?
Saber was more, and um, shoot, I thought someone from Moon Knight's supposed to be in it too. I thought the girl from Moon Knight, I thought she was supposed to be in it too, but I think they either took that out or didn't do that. But yeah, they were going to have a love interest of as Diamondback for Sam Wilson, and it was Rosa Salazar who was Battle Angel Alita, and a real good show on Amazon that did not get a second season called Undone. I just feel like every time she gets a project, she's super excited about it. She promotes it a ton, like she did for Battle Angel, and then
Right.
nothing happens. She promoted Undone. She's a really good actress, and same thing. It's like she hasn't caught a break yet. Maybe she'll late bloom like a Kristen Milioti. She'll have something, and then people go back. Because you were saying that a lot of people are going back and looking at Kristen Milioti stuff at post Penguin.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Everyone's going
maybe
back and
she'll
watching
have.
all her old stuff. Her stuff from How I Met Your Mother's always online.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this last week. So this is a DC Year Two Black and White Accent Edition, which I think is exclusive somewhere, Target or Amazon. It's one of the two, but that was the original image that I saw last week, but not with the box behind it. But these images were added, and I'm just like, I like the cloth cape, so it doesn't really say. I guess that comes with it, but I like the little setting and the cloth. Like, I think this is way better. I'll take this, you know. Um,
That's neat.
so I do. I think that's pretty cool. So we'll see. This was a Sharkticon thing that popped up this week. Age of Primes is a new Skybite. So that's pretty fun. You have a Skybite. You
I
have
have Sharkticon.
you have a Sharkticon, right?
Multiple Sharkticons. Skybite is a
Yeah.
completely different character. Who he was on the Transformer show Robots in Disguise from like 2001,
Okay.
2000, but it wasn't a really a Hasbro show. It was a Takara show from Japan that they brought over here. And it was a weird show because it was post Beast Machines,
Mm.
but pre uh Transformers Armada. So it was just a weird mashup. There's Beast Wars type characters in it. There's G1 looking characters. There's G1. They just take like the Combaticons and make them characters in the show.
Mm.
It's a really weird show, man. You definitely you should check that out. What's funny is before they did that show, they were going to continue because it goes Beast Wars and then Beast Machines.
Yeah.
Then they had another show all lined up. I forget what it was called, but it was going to be a continuation of Beast Machines. I forget what it was called right now, like Tech something, not Tech Wars, but something like that. And the design work was being done by Ken Lashley. Is that
Oh
crazy?
wow. Okay. Ken Lashley, Excalibur artist for a long
Yeah,
time.
he's done some stuff recently too. Um, I think he had a whole studio like coloring.
Hmm.
Him and Matt, was it Matt Broom? Matt Broom had a whole digital effects thing too going on for a while there.
Oh, in that same era, I
Um,
don't know if you saw the Black History Month DC alternate covers this week or this month. Black History Month. It's all Ryan Benjamins, and they're all pretty good. They don't, but to me, they don't really look like Ryan Benjamin. They're really good drawings, but I'm like, I don't think they look like Ryan Benjamin. So, I mean, that's fine. Hey, man, get paid. Don't care. Good job. They still look good, but it's not It doesn't feel like Ryan Benjamin signatures ones. So anyway,
I like Ryan
uh,
Benjamin a lot.
all about Ryan Benjamin, baby. Right? Is that canceled? Um, All right, so Solomon Kane original comics omnibus. I think we mentioned this on a previous show. However, I don't think the covers were posted, so it's a Howard Chaykin cover on the left, which is a Marvel premiere, which I don't believe that corner box art was ever published. So that's really fun. So this is really tough because I think right now I could probably pre-order this for like 30, $40. So it's tough, So I'm like, because the the trouble with the reprinting of the Savage Sword of Conan is that they don't reprint Solomon Kane stories or original stories like Black Mark or Red Sonja stories. So the omnibus for Savage Sword of Conan's, and there's tons, as you can see, Savage Sword of Conan 13, 14, 18, 20, 22, 26, 62, 162, like a ton, plus Marvel Preview, plus Dracula Lives, plus like this is kind of these are my favorite omnibuses that are all over the place, or my favorite complete collections. Like they have a
Yeah,
Manwolf complete collection, it's all over the place, of where Manwolf shows up, so I love these are these are the most fun ones, versus don't like it when they omit a bunch of stuff. Like I had to buy a Marvel, not that I had to. I guess I had to. I had to buy
You
the
had to.
Marvel. I could get all the Titan Conan omnibuys. But
Are you?
I can't. I want
Are
to.
are you,
Yeah,
Mark?
but I can't. But I couldn't buy Volume One because Volume One I had to buy the Marvel one because it has a Creatures on the Loose story in there.
Gotcha.
So yeah. So all right, let's take a look here. What else we got? What else we got? We're doing it. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that.
That's nice.
Wonderful. What's shaking? And then Mike Mignola. Mike Mignola did Sword of Solomon Kane #4. Now I haven't seen them yet because it seems like the omnibus that they do, they don't have the cover smaller. I don't know. I'm not really sure if this is their cover. I guess maybe because see they kind of changed the Conan here.
Mhm.
This is a Marvel Comics group, Marvel Premiere. They pulled out the Marvel Premiere. They enlarged the Mark of Kane. So pretty cool all around. But this was a great series. That was a 6 issue series total. They're all double size. The first three are Brett Blevins. Four here is Mike Mignola interiors and cover and interiors. 85 came out 85, 86, and John Ridgway did the last two. So pretty good lineup. Lots of stuff there. Sword of Solomon King, Conan Saga 50. So there's probably extra stuff in Conan Saga. The Conan Saga is pretty much straight reprints of Savage Sword and found extra. Like I grabbed a Conan Saga yesterday, and the Conan Saga yesterday literally had like scanned pencils, Barry Windsor Smith pencils. So
Oh, nice.
here's a Phoenix Death and Rebirth, Jean Grey Omnibus. This is a mess. This is a mess.
What
I
is?
don't
Yeah.
understand the obsession of having like character omnibuses in a way, even though I just said that about Savage Sword that I like that. But they have a Loki one that's kind of a mess too, just like this, where it's like a bunch of Thor issues and a Loki, and it's just all over the place where it's been. I'm not sure if Phoenix is strong enough to have this because you have what? So looking at it here, you have what? You have oh, what do we have? We have Uncanny. Is there Sun in order, or is it
No.
New X-Men, X-Men Phoenix War Song, End Song, Avengers X-Men 0 through 12? I guess because that's a complete Phoenix story. Jean Grey 1 through 11 that was canceled. Generations Phoenix and Jean Grey, that was a bad one shot. Return of Jean Grey, another. So you have three Phoenix. So this is at a point one. But is there a Phoenix? Is there a Phoenix series right now?
There is, right? There was.
I think so. I think all like the From the Ashes. There's like a billion like girl boss like series. There's Psylocke. I'm not reading. Phoenix. I'm not reading. Is there a Storm? Not reading that. Like there's just too many. And I think Exceptional X-Men are basically all girl X-Men.
Yeah.
So not exceptional. So I just think it's goofy that you're gonna have like so you have a who was that? It's Artgerm, right?
Right. Archer,
So
you know.
I know, but any of these series, Arjun didn't draw any interior for this, nor did Jim Lee. So any of them, and I want to say that like the Phoenix End Song, War Song, and maybe even the Resurrection might have like one of those like Capuccio, one of like probably a through line artist or some of that. So he's not going to be on the omnibus. Cool. So this has zero, and they're putting in one, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine issues of the Grant Morrison. It's just a mess. I think it's just a nightmare. And
Yeah.
then
Is this
this
going to
is
line up in any way at all possible?
it will sort of yeah in chrono in because again those Phoenix Death Rebirths I think they're not even taking place in the right spot. So you're going to have the Grant Morrison stuff there, but some of those miniseries I think are callbacks. It's not. I don't know. I just hate it. But remember, this is supposed to be a card that's this big. It's supposed to be this big, that big.
Right. It
So
was drawn a quarter the size of an original art page, I believe.
yeah, in
You
marker
know, they
most of the
typically
time.
do. Yeah, he must have got so
It's
tired
fine.
doing this.
Yeah, I didn't get the. I know that. I think I forget who put it out. It might have been Abrams. Somebody put it out
I feel like it
uh
was Abrams.
last year. Yeah, and then I know Ed Piskor did the late great Ed Piskor did
Yeah.
the intro. Um, but yeah, so Mm,
You know, I think Milligan bought that book. I haven't had a chance to look through it yet because I still have all the cards. But I do love books that collect cards. I think that's really fun because I'd rather have a book of all the art than card binders. I'm just done with my. I love cards back in the day, but my old
yeah.
man eyes, I kind of want to see these books a little bigger, bigger art. Abrams, I think it was Abrams, put out great books for Garbage Pail Kids and Wacky Packages.
Oh,
They
yeah,
should
yeah,
have they
yeah.
should have did more. I think they only did the first five Garbage Pail Kids, but the first 10 Wacky Packages. But there's like
Oof.
a lot of both. But like, oh, and the Mars Attacks book's really good too. So
Oh,
like
that's
keep
right.
these books
Yeah,
going.
I've seen the
And you know
Mars
what's
Attacks
funny
one.
about these books? They're smaller. They're not quite comic book sized. But what's neat about them is the dust jacket feels like the old wrapper packs.
Right. Oh,
And they
that's
put
right.
like
Yeah,
so it's fun.
that's awesome.
Um I'd say an image in chat. I don't know if you want to I don't know if you could share it right now or share it sometime soon, but it's relevant.
Oh.
That is the only picture of Diamondback. That's Rose. It's like, oh, she exists in pink hair. Like and
In
that
pink
she looks
hair.
totally fit.
Right. And she's with
Like
like a
how
production assistant, so that's the only picture that we know of, right?
that's the only picture that we know of.
And you're
And
seeing
so
it.
she probably,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, I just looked that up online now and I'm like, holy crap, dude. Like our, what we lost in this movie is ridiculous. We need, and I know Marvel does this a lot. I know Thor 2 went through massive, massive reshoots, but I don't
yeah.
know if any movie's gone through as massive reshoots as this movie. Like you took out the whole Serpent Society plot and added in, Sidewinder as like a villain
Right.
for,
Right.
parts of the movie that are clearly filmed. Like they do a good job blending it in. And if you didn't know that they were filmed like in like the last rounds of shooting, you might not even think about it. You know?
Right.
Yeah, it's not a great quality image, but it's like that's her as Diamondback. Like I was thinking, did I miss her? Was she in the background? And then clearly, like, oh, I would not have
No.
missed this.
No, no. And she's clearly got some type of like tat, and I don't know if she was ever in a costume. Like it's just a bummer. Like I just don't know much about it. Yeah. So it would be
No, because people like Diamondback is a Marvel character that should really. Maybe she's just been underutilized. Like we really liked her in the '90s. There's something about that bad girl, the Black Cat, the Catwoman, the Poison Ivy,
mm,
Harley Quinns, like all these bad girls that kind of turn good a little bit. Like, they're multifaceted. They have more than one side to their personalities, and it's a shame we missed out on that.
yeah, that's so good. Hold on one second.
All right,
All right, here we go. So He-Man time.
all right. These are some
So
set picks that
some
were released.
troublesome,
It's troublesome in a way because I don't want He-Man to be on Earth.
aloof,
I don't.
troublesome He-Man in a pink shirt.
Well, Prince Adam. Prince Adam always was rocking a pink shirt.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't love this. It'll probably. I hope he makes it work because I
Do
like
you have an
Travis
Apple
Knight.
Watch? Does he have a watch on? What's up? He has an Apple
That
Watch?
is maybe.
Looks like an
Uh-oh.
Apple Watch. That's cool. So he has an Apple Watch?
He should. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
It's powered by the sword. It keeps
I
the
don't
sword in check.
know. I guess the one thing
The
that's
the
good is look at that sword.
the sword is perfect. That is a perfect
Yeah.
80s He-Man sword. Like congrats on that. Congrats on that. And he looks like a fine Prince Adam. But again, we already got a He-Man that took place on Earth, and that bored me as a kid.
Oh yeah.
I don't need him trying to fit in. I don't know if he's trying to hide from Skeletor. We don't know any of the stories yet.
Are you gonna do the first Thor where he's gonna just kind of throw his coffee around? Great in the first Thor, but I don't know if I need it again. I don't know.
No.
I don't know if we need this at all. I don't need him on
This
Earth.
movie, I love the casting. This movie, they're doing a great job, but like I just need it to be Lord of the Rings, not Austin Powers. You know?
Yeah, because here's some of the cast here. So we've
Look at this
got
casting.
Jaboy, Nicholas Galitzine. I've
Nicholas
only ever seen
Galzine.
him. I've only ever seen him in a movie where he's hooking up with like Anne Hathaway, and he was like a singer, and he's very British. So I don't know if he can. I imagine we joked before the show. I was like, can he do an American accent? It's like, well, yeah, it's not that hard to do American accents. They can do that. It's us
Yeah,
doing British accents that suck,
we
right?
sound horrible. We're like, is it British
Right.
or Michael
And
Caine? You know?
Alison Breeze, who is Tila?
No, she's a sorceress,
She's sorceress. Okay.
so
And
she'll
then
look great. I've seen her other pictures where she's changed her hair, like she's making herself. It looks she's going to be a fine sorceress.
she's a
Uh,
fine
she's gonna
sorceress.
be she's gonna be a fine sorceress, very fine.
Man
Uh,
at Arms, Idris Elba, and another
Good casting.
Thor. Like he's so he's
This
playing.
guy, this guy, I'm gonna try it. Johannes Hakor Johannesson.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's on Vikings Valhalla. He's actually such a great Fisto pick.
Mm.
It's almost he's the best casting, I think,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
he's on Vikings Valhalla, awesome character. He's in Captain America: Brave New World. He's
Oh,
like the
okay.
first kind of super powered guy he fights when he's going after Sidewinder.
Mm.
And it's a good fight. I'm like, yeah, he's going to be a great Fisto. Nobody knows him. I just happen to know him because I liked him on Vikings, but no, not a lot of people are watching Vikings on Netflix. But really good choice. Also, Fisto was like my second He-Man toy, so I really love Fisto.
Yeah, I
What a
like
horrible
that.
name,
No way. It's
but
the
like
best.
he just looks like him. He doesn't even need makeup. He just
Right.
looks like Fisto.
Are you good with
Uh,
Leto doing Skeletor? I'm still not sold on it. He just gets roles, dude. It just doesn't matter. He's just in it. He's like, I'll be in Blade Runner. I'll be in he just can get a role always.
I hope. I hope he brings something to it. I have hope. I like Jared Leto, but is he Skeletor enough? Don't know.
I don't know what
You
movie I
know?
liked him in though, but see, I think we like him. I don't know. I don't. What Jared Leto movie do you like him in? I guess the Dallas Buyers Club where he
Yeah. Yeah.
plays a transsexual AIDS with AIDS. So that's
Right.
fine. Brenda Baccarin
Uh,
is she's Tila. No,
no,
am I have it wrong?
she keep. She's
Who's
Queen. She's
Tila?
Queen Marlena. She's Queen. Tila is the girl from Riverdale.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And
So
then James
James Purefoy,
Purefoy.
yes, King Randor. Him and her are He-Man's parents. Good
I see.
choice. I mean, I like him.
I
He's a good King
guess,
Randor.
but we wanted
We wanted Dolph Lundgren as King Randor. That would have been
yeah.
the ultimate nod. But simultaneously, I think he's been battling cancer. I think he's cancer free finally, but it's been like a several year fight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dolph
Yeah.
Lundgren's got like this super genius IQ. He has like a degree in chemical engineering. Like he's ridiculously smart,
I
but
never
also
knew he
like,
dated like Grace Jones for like years, where they were both models.
oh,
Before
that's
Grace Jones
funny.
was like they were like is he German? Like where is he from? Austrian? Is he Austrian like
Something,
Schwarzenegger or something? Something like that.
something.
But they
Or
were they
he
were
could be
both
German.
models in like London for like a long time. And if you look at them up,
He's
like he's like holding her at one point, like he's because he's so big, like he's like holding her in the air. She's probably like 120 pounds. He's just like has his hand on her butt and just holding her up. It's really really crazy.
Sylvester Stallone said, like out of all the guys who, all the actors playing boxers in the Rocky movies, he's probably the one that would win in like a real fight. Like he was
He
like the
almost
biggest,
killed him. He
baddest,
almost killed
strongest.
Stallone. Stallone went to the hospital because he was swollen because he got hit so many times in the chest. And if he didn't go to the hospital, he would have died because his like what aortic whatever was almost going to explode. And
Right.
they had to like give him, I don't know, steroid. They had to like get it like just like reduce the swelling quickly, or else he would have just died. He almost died
No.
being just beaten the shit out of. But he went to look better. He didn't like the way it looked. He's like, no, I need you to really hit me. So he really got a lot of
Yeah.
those. It's not
No,
makeup.
and supposedly he's like an awesome guy to work with. Like they brought him on for one
Yeah.
episode of Arrow, but they liked him so much, like, we want to keep bringing him back.
Who was he in
So
Arrow?
he's on Arrow. He's just like a Russian mob guy,
Mm.
Russian mafia, but he's awesome. He's awesome in that. You know, uh, I didn't see the Expendables, but people like him in that. People liked him in Creed 2. You know,
There's a shot if you go onto YouTube and just look up where in Creed 2, I think he's in the hospital when Donnie's in the hospital, when Michael B. Jordan's character's in the hospital. So Rocky is in the hospital and he goes down because this was filmed in, I don't know if it was a CHOP. It was filmed in a hospital in Philadelphia and in the lobby. And
all
it's
right,
them fighting as like he's about to leave. And I think that Drago shows up to see Donnie to go up and see him. And they meet in like the lobby and they beat the shit out of each other in the lobby. And it's not in the movie. And there's like and it's you
oh
see
weird,
him just throwing him into the glass and it's like it's really uncomfortable. Yeah, it looked great, but they didn't put it in the movie for some reason. So
that's weird, that's weird.
here's your boy. This premiered Wednesday
Oh, so
on
one other
live
thing
stream.
about Dolph Lundgren while I'm thinking about it,
Mhm.
can we get him as Punisher in Secret Wars? Like, I feel like there's going to
Get
be all these
everybody.
incursion Earths. Give me an Earth where it's Dolph Lundgren Punisher, Matt Salinger Captain America, Lou Ferrigno Hulk. I seen a picture of Lou Ferrigno yesterday at 70 something. Dude looks good, in shape.
Right.
You know, give me Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man. Give me Roger Corman Fantastic Four. They should all be the same Earth and give us that.
The 80s
I don't know,
pre-Spider-Man
Matt
Earth.
Salinger or Red Brown. They're both in good shape still.
I would do Matt Salinger because that was an official movie. Well, what's so weird about that? Was that on video that Captain America 2 came out and it was Red Brown, but it was an older TV movie? It was older
Yes.
than the Captain America movie.
Oh,
Is that right?
no. No, there was two Captain America 70s TV movies.
Okay.
One one doesn't look like Captain America hardly at all, and the second one looks a little bit closer.
I thought when
You
they
know,
put out like Captain America 2, like as a direct to video like sequel, it was like the older movies. I thought that's the way they had it, like on
nah,
stands.
there was two 1970s TV movies that were filmed and aired. They aired both those movies
Hmm.
in the 70s. And then, I got to watch them on, I don't know, USA in the 90s before the Matt Salinger, son of JD Salinger.
It's so weird. That's
It is
that's the
weird.
weirdest. That's the weirdest trivia. It's a weird trivia.
Well, I mean, we got what, Muriel, was it? Which Hemingway was in Superman 4?
Miro Hemingway. Hmm.
Muriel Hemingway. So, you got a Hemingway and a Salinger in not great superhero movies.
They're
But I
they're the
love them both.
curse. It's the curse.
Yeah, don't have a daughter of a famous writer in your movie.
No,
Good
that will
good
not
to
be good.
know.
Yep.
All right. So this came out. I didn't get my copy yet, but Last Blood Final Stand I thought was going to be a one shot. It's got 6 pages by Liefeld. The rest is by Marat Michaels. Got a twist ending nobody knows yet, except me. Um, and Marat said on his Whatnot show that he's working on issue two. And I think so. What they have planned is 3 issues of Last Blood Final Stand.
Hmm.
I mean, he goes maybe more if they keep selling. I don't know. He goes, but 3 is definitely planned. So I don't know if we'll get these for a couple issues and then we'll get Liefeld'S Last Blood 3.
Yeah, we had
So I
the
think
well,
that's
we had the Vance Victor stuff yet last week on Twitter.
yeah, the double page
So
spread of like
I'll drop
these
that in. Yeah, I
eternal
love it.
looking cosmic guys. It looks really good. Um, the the bad news is I don't think we're getting Young Blood #1 until October.
Mhm.
October traditionally is a better selling comic book month. Like I think Liefeld wants to have like the whole series drawn, or at least most of it drawn before he releases it, so he has like 5 or 6 issues monthly, which is a great goal. I commend him on that actually. Because he's actually done a really great job of all his series that have come out the past decade have all come out on time. The
Mhm.
Deadpool Corps, Bad Blood, Badder Blood, Major X, like everything he's done in recent years has come out on time.
Mhm.
So I guess he wants to keep that going. So, like we had said, September and August are traditionally not great months for comic book stores. A lot of people are going on vacation still in August, or it's back to school spending. So, but October comes around, things pick up. People's interested in comics again. So,
Yeah,
I mean, Absolutes came out October of last year. All the DC Absolute books. The Heroes Reborn stuff were fall launches. Fall is just a strong time for comics because
yeah.
you're back inside. You're not sweating. Like, do you ever buying comics in the summer and like trying not to sweat on them because maybe you didn't have air conditioning, maybe you were really poor like me, or you're trying to read comics outside with your friends in the
Yeah, I
summer.
was greasy. I'm still a greasy Italian, so
I'm a
yeah.
greasy Italian. I'm a
Hey,
grease
it's the
deliver me
me.
comic.
It's the me. You
So
got my fingerprints literally on comic, but in the way they've had a black cover, you're like, man. Yeah, I like the foil, like the hollow foil-ish type of thing, so that's pretty great.
yeah, they're not.
And
It's a
that's his
really nice
micro
cover.
printing stuff, right? That's probably 50,
Yeah, there
70
is less than
issues
a
of
hundred. There's less than 100 of the regular cover, top
crazy.
left. Less than 100 of the bloody cover to the right. Foil, there's probably like 50 of. He doesn't make a lot of them.
Yeah, that's great. Well, the thing is too is that the two logos too. So one so that's pretty fun. That's a different Last Blood logo on the left, right?
Correct. Yeah,
So
the standard, and then I think it just came down to he couldn't decide. He's like, well, what am I doing? I'll just do both. And
yeah,
then you choose
you choose. You
From
choose.
Hell. I found this article interesting. Okay, From Hell was a comic it started off as a serial in Steve Bissett's Taboo, which isn't how I read it. I read it as a collection. No, actually, I read the single issues first, right? It's by Alan Moore, Eddie Campbell. The single issues came out. They were square bound.
Hmm.
Do you remember who put them out originally?
I want to say Tundra, but I don't know if that's right.
I feel like it's not right as well. So anyway, they
Probably.
make a movie out of it, which is an okay movie, but nowhere near what the comic is. The comic is in depth. It's hundreds of pages of just character work and mysticism and just horrible death and murder, all about Jack the Ripper. Um, so they make a movie out of it starring Johnny Depp. It's people like it. People really like it if you don't read the comic. And that's one of the interesting things sometimes. Like people who don't read Alan Moore comics love Alan Moore movies. Like
Really.
there's a lot of people I know who love the Watchmen movie. They love League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. They love V for Vendetta. They love From Hell. Like these movies are great if you don't read the comics first.
Didn't read yeah, we don't like them. We're not. We don't like them.
I don't mind them.
Yeah.
I'll never say yeah. I think I like them all, but I don't like hate. I don't hate them and I don't like love them.
Hmm.
So the story is so this London businessman named Russell Edwards, he goes and sees the movie and he's fascinated by the story. So he starts getting into it and he buys a shawl believed to have been found at the scene of one of the murders. So they get DNA test done on it and the DNA matches the victim, Catherine Edowes, thanks to a blood sample the great great granddaughter had. So they found DNA of her. So one of the victims through her great great granddaughter. Super interesting. But then they found other DNA sample. The article doesn't say if it was blood, but it might have been, something else. Uh, and it matched one of the suspects of the original murders. It's a Polish Jewish hairdresser who lived there, who lived in the area, named Aaron Kosminski. And
Hmm.
apparently, so they think this guy was Jack the Ripper, and it's all because this London businessman got into it from the movie.
Well,
So
listen,
thanks,
guys.
Alan Moore. Thanks, Joel Silver. I don't know. Don't thank Joel Silver. I don't
Nah,
know.
because I feel like he touched. He was mess. Well, I feel like the majority of his movies are pushed around a little bit, and that's why he put takes his name off them typically, and then gives all the rights to the artist, which is fine.
Which
Um,
is weird because Alan Moore is such a fan of cinema. He loves movies. He loves TV shows. But
I
I
think
don't know
he's
if
more
there's
of
a
a
way to.
fan of. I think it's more of a creator rights thing. I feel like that's more of a situation where he might know a bit more of the machinations of how money's divided, and I don't think he likes that everyone is paid, and he probably
Everyone is
hates it
paid, and
even
he's
more
probably paid the
now.
least.
Correct.
Creators always seem
So,
to be paid the least unless you go in with a really strong hand.
and he works so heavily. He's so deep in what he's working on. Anyone doing like just a baseline adaptation, because it is pretty changed and restructured, and it's got to be, look, that's the same character, yeah, that's the character on the left,
Hmm.
and then Johnny Depp is the same. No, oh, the
No, no,
investigator doesn't look like Johnny Depp. That's
right, right.
right.
Johnny Depp's not like he does not fall in love with one of the prostitutes,
Right.
and the prostitutes probably don't look that good. Um,
Yeah, they're not gonna look
was
like
was
Heather
it
Graham. Yeah.
who played the Jack the Ripper character? Was it Ian Holmes?
It was Ian Holm. Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie since
they
well the
had
theater.
like,
I,
and
I
they
did go
almost
see it
did
in the theater.
like, they did a thing with his retinas, corneas, whatever, where his eyes were like crazy black. Like it didn't, like he became like, it was more spirit, like he was possessed or something. And I don't know. The interesting thing about the it's so lean in the original comic that it feels like a documentary, like you're reading a documentary. It's so
Yeah,
lean. The Eddie Campbell art is, it's not flashy. It's either a six. It can be a nine panel. They're grids, and the the evisceration, the murders are horrible. They're horrible.
yeah.
So
Eddie Campbell took on a project of his own like 5 years ago and went back and colored the entire
right,
series.
right.
And Alan Moore's like, take my name off of it, not to be a jerk, but because this is your project. This is all you. My name doesn't deserve to be on it. I'm like, what a weird way to say that, because Alan Moore's name sells from hell. It sells
Right,
anything.
right, right, right. Maybe it was
But I,
a, it's a bit of, maybe it's a bit of contract type of thing where he's taking his name off officially. If he does it a certain way, then Eddie can make all the money. You know.
right. So I briefly talked to Eddie Campbell at a show, and I said, "Did you make any art changes?" And he said, of course, I added a little here or there, nothing like crazy, just things that bothered me, but nothing anyone would really notice unless you're going back and comparing panel to panel. But it's not the type of book where people traditionally would do that. He goes, but one of the things I changed was when Alan Moore wrote it, he put this bridge in a scene where they're looking at it from across the river, and it's very like dense and more,
Yeah,
you
he's in
know,
woods. Yeah.
yeah, and the bridge like was still being built when it actually happened. So I took the bridge out and said, "Hey, Alan, I think they would have taken this route instead," which added like a page to the story. He goes, but then when I would re-examine the page, I'm like, oh, Alan's flow was a lot better. I'm just going to put the bridge in there and go back to the original script.
Right. Right.
So I found that
Yeah, it's
interesting.
funny. Well,
Nice,
I think
nice guy.
editing is like like going back and remastering or director's cutting and stuff like that. It's really tricky. Like I think that I mean I think the Fellowship cut, not the extended cut. People like that extended cut quite a bit, but I think the extended cut is worse than the Fellowship. Like theatrical cut, I think it's like as perfect as you
For
can
Lord of the
have it.
Rings,
Lord of the
um,
Rings. Because I feel like even with this thing, like just as from a pacing perspective, also when they rescored bits of it, certain
right?
beats weren't in the same spot. And I think a lot of the problem that we have as to go back to uh, what you just said about adaptations is that our brain is trying to put the thing that we know on top of it, right? So
Yes,
we
I can agree with that.
so we have trouble with it because we're just like, that's not how I remember it. And if it's a little different, and then what I think in another effect, if it ends up being too close, we don't find it that fascinating. So we were fascinated with the way the first Sin City was, right? I think it was more fascinated with that it adapted so closely. But by the time the second one came out too late, number one. Number two, we don't like those stories as much, but we were like, yeah, we get it. And we didn't care. Like no one cares about the second one. It's not that it's
It's true.
worse, it's
No,
fine.
no,
But
no.
we're
I
like
still went into the
now,
theater and watched it.
yeah, but it's not repeatable. You know what I mean? It's not.
Well, you know what? What happened in between was we got the Spirit movie, and
Mm,
I think like that because it's a similar style. I think people kind of got sick of it because of the Spirit movie, which I don't hate the Spirit movie. I've only seen it once.
right, right.
Talking about a
Suits.
lot of movies I've only seen once. Uh,
Yeah, I've only seen that once. I've only seen that once. But that was like, again, actually, if you can find the Art of the Spirit cheap,
ugh.
that's pretty fun because that's like so much Frank Miller
Did that
stuff.
did that book come out really late? Because I special ordered it through a store years ago. Well, when
Mhm.
it first got solicited, and I felt like years went by and I never got it. And then all of a sudden I saw it on eBay one day. I'm like, wait a minute, this book came out?
Yeah, yeah.
Just weird. But I'm sure it's great. It's great, right? Do you have it, or you just look through it?
No, I think I bought it for, or I think me and DeLuca were together and we saw it and we both like had to like kind of fight over it if I remember correctly. And then I think he's like, "I'm fine." I had more things that had that I was like, "All right, you can take it if
Okay.
you want it." So I don't think I don't believe I have it either.
Because the
So
end credits of the Spirit movie just showcase all this Frank Miller artwork.
right,
And I'm
because
like,
that's
when's that book coming out? I need that book. And then, it did.
yeah.
Was solicited, and then, I never got it.
Yeah, it's a bummer that like that they don't have like there should be a Magnola book of a lot of his storyboards for like Atlantis and his character designs for New God cartoon that never came out. But you
There's
can you can find that stuff online, and make your own PDF of it basically, or you can make your own thing. But
there's a lot of stuff out there that I would love to see. The Magnolia New God stuff. Where's that?
mm,
You know?
yeah,
Do you know how or more Stephen Platt. Stephen Platt did stuff for the
flat.
Turtles movie, the Godzilla movies. Steve's gross. Like I did you get the first Art of the Matrix book? That's a phenomenal book.
No,
Chock
yeah,
chock
no.
full of Steve's
He
gross and
did.
Jeff Darrow artwork.
What's crazy with Steve Scrooge is he'll do the storyboards, but he does the storyboards complete. Like it's not just sketches. It's like he's
No,
drawing
it's a
like
full comic.
yeah. So it's pretty nuts.
It's
Yeah.
great. It's great. Liefeld has some when he was doing the Mark movie. The Mark he did storyboards for it, and it's awesome. It's pretty fun. And Liefeld's like he kind of got into it for a minute because he was looking at other storyboard artists, and a lot of them are just like they're just pencil sketches, or they're no better than like a sad dad
Right.
comic, you
Thank you.
know. But like free free plug, if
That's
not
right.
backhandedly. Um, he's like, no, I'll draw a full panel. There's a comic of that. I don't know if I ever showed it to you. Not a full comic,
No.
but a couple pages. It's a pretty neat
Oh,
scene.
that's funny. That's funny. All right, here we go.
Clayface. That's a nice looking toy.
Yeah, so that's yeah. This was a McFarlane recent one. That's a pretty fantastic looking
Yeah,
Clayface.
it looked McFarlane.
Um, so there's the two bits of DC movie news. Number one is that there was a movie, I think it's about to hit streaming, called Queer, that Luca Guadagnino did after Challengers. So it's kind of crazy. He did two movies in a year. Challengers was really popular. I think it's good. I think it's good, not great. But got zero buzz, zero Oscar anything, right?
Uh,
Where Call Me by Your Name got a lot of Oscar stuff, with Timothée Chalamet and Armie Hammer. But in Queer, Daniel Craig is did a like was worked with him really closely, and Daniel Craig is very interested in doing Sergeant Rock, which is kind of a perfect face to do that. I think that's perfect.
it's a good weathered face.
So they keep rumoring that they're getting closer with that, because he mentioned it and he's like, "Oh, I'm working on Sergeant Rock." Like he mentioned in an interview, you're like, "You are? No one knows about this." So if Luca Guadagnino like hands in a script, or well, he doesn't really typically script his projects, but if he can get a good script to James Gunn, he just kind of greenlights it, which is why Clayface is on here right now, because Clayface, there was a treatment and then I guess just a script that Mike Flanagan, who does nice House of Usher and
Yeah,
Doctor Sleep and all that. He's
it's
just
did you say nice House of Usher?
the nice House of Usher.
Not that
The
shitty
nice
one.
house on the lake slash, that's not that, but
Yeah.
that's all
The
kind of taken from the
Fall of the
same.
House of Usher.
Yeah,
Great.
for sure.
Great series.
Chris
I
Ursher.
think yeah, he's good. He's really good. I got to get back to Midnight Mass. Me and my daughter watch all his TV shows, and for some reason we just miss Midnight Mass and
Hmm.
Midnight, whatever the one after that one was. Midnight
Yeah,
Club.
I forget. Yeah, he it's but he kind of has his own cast of characters, but he's not
They're
directing
great.
this. I know that Jeff Wadlow is rumored to direct it. He's not directing it, not because he doesn't want to. It's a scheduling thing.
Well, it's not
So
Jeff Wild though. Didn't you say it was someone else?
Jeff Wadlow was the rumor. He
Rumor.
directed the second Kick-Ass, but then that rumor was canceled. That was not said. Oh, that's not true. Which
Okay.
is, can you imagine like it being in the rumor and then they're like, no, 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 that's not true, and you're like, Jesus,
And like what a
not
weird
that
name.
bad,
Like Jeff Wadlow isn't like that well known of a director, I don't think.
right? He
Like
almost did an X-Force movie.
Kick-Ass 2 is fine. Correct. He almost did the first version of an X-Force movie where X-Force was going to fight Apocalypse. But then they pulled Apocalypse away from him to use it in the Bryan Singer X-Men Apocalypse movie.
To make
And
the
then
Ivan
when
Ooze movie, to make
oh, it does look like Ivan News is what we'll yeah.
the
But then when they were going to do a second X-Force movie, the one that Drew Goddard was going to do, they were going to fight Strife. Like that
mm,
was always the plan, which is a great underutilized X-Men villain. I guess we'll talk a little bit more about him later, maybe.
oh yeah, we
Um,
will. What?
yeah, it always confused me because when we were teenagers, like I was watching the X-Men cartoon, it was always like Magneto's the first villain, and then Apocalypse, and then Mr. Sinister. Like, well, who's the next X-Men villain? I'm like, oh, I guess it'd be Strife, because at that
Right.
point, Executioner Song was happening, and that was a great crossover. Post the Image Exodus. So yeah, so Clayface movie is such a weird movie, and I think we've discussed in the past, like, how do you think this will do? Because you got the failure of the Joker, but the Joker's not in this new DC continuity, but you have the
Right.
success of the Penguin.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
we've thought that it's better for villains to have a TV show than a movie, maybe.
Yeah, I mean the listen, the our favorite, Awestruck approved comic that we like this year, that's which now I unfortunately found out it's a miniseries, it's 6 issues, but that's okay. It's a good trade,
Is that a
maybe.
surprise
The
miniseries,
the
or
two
is that
feet
a
the Two Face. I'm not sure. I think it is a surprise solicit miniseries, that there was a Two Face one and two, and then last week we reviewed three on reviews day, and then it was like three of six when I found the solicit in previews world. I'm like, crap. But that's
which
okay,
we think means the sales weren't that great?
Right, right, right. Which is
Maybe.
which is okay. I mean, look, like it's because, I don't know, but we talk a lot about how is like Poison Ivy on it issue like 33, 34, like how did that happen? So we kind
Because
of
G.
want these
Willow
to be good
Wilson
enough, and
has
then
her
they'll might just
followers.
continue. Or the Joker series that have been recent, like the Tom King Joker series and then the Matt Rosenberg Joker series, they were like pre-limited. They were like initially as 12, that's it. Like, or six, that's
Yeah.
it. The man who laughs and all that stuff. Um, this is one of my favorite Clayface. The cool thing about Clayface is what Clayface are you doing? There's technically three
Right.
different Clayface between Matt Hagen and like you could do it. They had
Basil.
Yeah, Basil was in one the cartoon, the most recent cartoon, the Cape Crusader, which was pretty good. It was a pretty good episode. That was a Greg Rucka
Yeah.
episode, I believe, that he
He's
wrote.
he's
But
handled pretty funny on the Harley Quinn cartoon series. I don't know
oh,
if you're
that's
watching
right.
that or not.
No, I
I
haven't
think
watched
it's
that, but yeah, I
I think
should because
it's
I
I
know
think it's
they
Alan
kind of mess
Tudyk,
around. Alan Two Dicks.
right? Is he playing Clayface? He's so
Yes,
funny.
he is. Yeah, because he was
But
recently he was on an interview with the panel for Creature Commandos, and he
right.
did everyone he's currently doing, and he did Clayface, and then Frank
But
Grillo's like, I should not be here because I'm not talented. He's like, I
well he did
shouldn't be in this voice
but
area
then they
here,
smartly used him as Clayface on Creature Commandos.
right? But he used a different That's what he was
Right.
doing.
It was a
You can
different
find the
character.
clip. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
He does like this is the Clayface here and this is the Clayface here. So
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
did both, which is
The
pretty
Clayface
crazy.
on Harley Quinn's like this theatrical. I am Clayface. Like a weird,
Yeah.
always talking theatrically. It's pretty funny. I like Harley Quinn more for like the jokes they're not telling.
Mhm.
Like I don't
Did you
think
watch?
screaming's
They made a
really.
Kite Man series, right? Kite Man series, kind
Yeah,
of out of
yeah.
that, which is weird because Kite Man was a throwaway gag in a Tom King run, and then that like bit of it they kind of use in Harley Quinn enough that they made a Kite Man series, which is just
And it
crazy.
wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Right. I'm sure. I mean, it's if you can hold the note and I'm not that invested. I always thought they if
Well,
is
well, think
Catman
about
on
Kite
there
Man
at all?
series.
Is Catman on?
Catman? I don't think so.
See,
Under he should
Catman
be.
would be really good in the Harley Quinn series, I think. Like just have
He absolutely would.
that would fit.
Um, the thing
Secret
about Kite Man
Six.
is they basically did like a Noonan's bar, so it's like easy to do a show when you can have a bar as a background.
I see.
Uh,
Right.
it worked for Cheers.
Yeah, this is my favorite. This is a really good miniseries. This is the Clayface from the Kelly Jones, like Steve Niles, Gotham After Midnight is like Gotham After Midnight number three. I'm not sure. It's funny. I downloaded this today just to have it on the show, but like I don't think I ever noticed that like Joker's like up there. Like I don't, I didn't think I noticed it when I read
Just
it
chilling,
originally. Yeah,
eating some
I might
Lay's
have to
potato
trade this.
chips.
I have a handful of issues I found in dollar bins. I think I had initially sold the set. I have the regular trade I got cheap for $5, but they made a deluxe edition of this, which has a ton of sketches in the back, so I got to get the deluxe edition probably. So I got to
Yeah, you
trade up.
probably should.
I got to trade up.
We love sketches. We love design work. That's for sure.
Yeah, so I got to trade that up, But I mean, even looking at just this drawing in general, like look at the architecture. Like you're going to spend time just doing all the lines on the walls up. Like it's just a different style over here than you're doing like uh blotches up top, like you're of the of like and
I
but you're doing
just
a hard line on the bat signal, and then you have a dirigible just completely in reverse silhouette there. I mean, it's just a lot, so much cool work. And you have, I don't know, a dozen or more people down on the bottom. They're all different looking, running away, horrified, like, come on, man.
I hope that Warner Brothers is okay with DC movies that don't make a lot of money. Like if you do a Clayface movie, hopefully the budget's low, so it looks more practical than CG. Like a nice mix, I hope. But like I hope they could do a movie for like 150 or 100. Like the first Deadpool was made for like 80 million, and be okay if it only makes 200 or 300 million worldwide. Be
Yeah, but
okay
see,
with that.
I think the problem is that everything that they want, they go with the same model where like, all right, we have Deadpool one, it's 80 to 100 million, and then we make a billion. So I feel like they want that multiplied.
Of course they do.
I
But
know they, of
like
course they do, but
the
even the second
prize,
one didn't make Deadpool 2 didn't make more than the first, and then
well, they
Wolverine
that's
because Wolverine's added in basically is why that one
Deadpool
made more.
2, Mark, is the reason that movie, and the movie does phenomenal, by the way, but the reason it didn't break a billion is because Fox were being assholes. Because at that point, I think Fox had been bought by Disney, or it was in the works, and
Right,
Fox purposely put that movie in between, we'll say, it could have been like Guardians 2 and Han Solo. Like Guardians 2 was like
right,
the first week of May, Han Solo was the end of May, and Fox, Deadpool 2 was supposed to come out in June. They moved it forward to the weeks in between those movies to F Disney over. Like so that's Disney blames them for Han Solo not doing better because Deadpool 2 came out like a week or two before.
right.
See,
Disney,
Disney
you can
thought they
just
owned
say,
that
hey,
month.
this isn't that good. Hey, it's fine. Like
Well,
If Solo was a Disney Plus movie, I'd be fine, but it's
no,
not.
if Solo had come out, Solo came out 6 months after Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Hmm.
It came out 6 months after, or 5 months after that.
Whew.
Your smarter move, because they were trying to take back May. Like we want Star
Yeah,
Wars to be May again, but you had
right,
already kind of made Star Wars December, and people kind of liked that.
right.
So had you held off, you should have held off Han Solo till December, make it a yearly thing, and it probably would have done better. You know, and also Deadpool Cable would have done better, and they should have left Deadpool 2 in June, and it would have done better. Because it's too much money. You can't have Guardians, Deadpool, and these movies hurt each other. They're just feeding
yeah,
off of each other. This summer, what do we got? We got Jurassic World. A week later, we got Superman. 2 weeks later, we got FF. They're going to eat each other's lunch.
right.
They're all going to hurt each other. Those should be $3 billion movies.
Yeah,
Will they be?
I was just thinking that
Maybe, maybe not.
maybe I can take now that I like this video editing stuff so much, I didn't realize I like that much. But I wonder if I should take. I thought about it a long time ago taking the two Hulk movies and putting them together, like and just kind of putting what I like in each one, like kind of flip flop things around. But I wonder if I could take Solo and then maybe just put it through a filter and make it brighter because I feel when they're on like the robots are escaping and stuff. Like I can't see anything, which is I feel the same way about that with a lot of Ron Howard movies. Like I don't know if he has just like I'm gonna do a weird grain or I'm gonna make it like he doesn't care about the lighting or he doesn't have the right or he has the same guy. It's like short. It's like Spielberg has Janusz Kaminski, right? So you always have a little bit of a lens flare. You got this little, it's
Yeah.
a little sheen on it, right? A little bit of sheen on all his shit which I don't like. Actually, it makes it look worse. I think as you go, I think it got worse,
I
continual.
think I think I'd like to
Um,
know if the Lord and Miller cut is better because
I think it
apparently
would be. The scenes that I like apparently are the stuff that of him fighting Chewbacca in the mud.
the mud pit into
Yeah,
mud.
that is 100% Lord Miller from what I understand.
Because like Rogue
Um,
One, at least we've all come to the conclusion, or at least they've told us that there is no other cut of Rogue One. The stuff they changed was the stuff that both directors came to an agreement upon. That's not like
I
I
half
cut your
believe
stuff
that.
out.
I half
I
believe.
know, I know. It's like you want to
I
believe it because you want to think what we got was the best, and what we got was really good. But there's a lot of weird
there's
stuff,
so
even in the
much
trailer. There is a lot.
that cracks me up. That every time I think about Rogue One, I think about Chris Usher saying like, "Who is this guy?" Because I wasn't with you guys for a lot of movies from various millions of divorces that I have, right?
Right, right.
But then I went to Rogue One and I was so mad because there is a record breaking number of shots that are in. That's the most that's the most shots ever in a movie trailer that are not in the movie. It's like 57 shots or so. It's an insane amount. There's literally a YouTube like video about like where would this
Yes,
have
yeah,
been? Where is that? Where is this not there? So
yeah.
when
They all
I
survive, right? Or a
left,
good number of them survive in the original cut.
yeah. So there's so much stuff that is not in there. So after the movie, we go to like Applebee's, I guess, right? And I'm just like on this tirade. I just sit down and I don't even order anything. I just started yelling about this. And
Uh-huh.
this was not there and that wasn't there. And then you're going to dead. But why didn't they run through the water? And how were they over there? They would have been dead. Like I just went through this whole thing. And then Chris is like, "Who's this guy?" Like he was like right in front of me. He's like,
Yeah,
"Who? I
yeah,
don't know who
yeah.
this guy is." It's just really funny. And I think he did the same
Was
thing that
that
when we saw Alien Resurrection or one of the aliens. I did the same shit. I was mad, and he just kind of said the same thing. He's like, "Why we bring this guy here? He just hates everything." And I'm like, "That's
who
right.
is
I
this
hate it."
guy?
Who is this
Who is
guy?
this? Who is this angry Italian?
Ay, ay. That's true. That's true. True that. Uh, so we don't know. So anyway, what were we talking about? Clayface, spiraling back to Clayface. So
Spiraling back to Clayface.
but we don't
We're
know.
getting a movie.
Well, maybe. I don't
Maybe.
until it's shot. Listen, everything is dependent upon that Superman movie, man. If that Superman movie it does not do well, like it's over. It's over, Johnny.
Yeah, but I hope that it like they have the understanding that if it doesn't do if it's got to at least do Man of Steel numbers, which they even thought that was like disappointing. Like, oh, Man of Steel should be $1 billion movie. No, it shouldn't be. Like you're building. You want to build to a DC universe. Look at all Marvel's movies. Yeah, Iron Man came out of the gate swinging, great, but Captain America didn't. Thor didn't.
Right.
Incredible Hulk didn't. But look what happens when you put them all together.
Right, right,
You
right.
get Avengers. You get $1 billion. And that, and
$1 billion. Mm.
yeah. So you got to be okay with movies just making their money back. If
I
you want
don't
to make
think
something
that's,
big,
yeah,
I know, of
I
course
don't
not.
think
Of
that's
course you
ever
want to
over.
make money.
It's over.
But Marvel and Paramount, who it was Paramount then, they knew the big picture. And Marvel put up the rights to their characters for that Paramount deal. If those movies bombed, they lost the rights to all those characters.
Mm. Right.
Do you know that?
I don't think I knew that now.
Yeah, Paramount would have got them.
Mm.
Cap, Thor, Iron, all the Avengers stuff. I mean, they
Jeez.
couldn't touch the X-Men or FF or FF or also, Shang-Chi was in the original launch. Like they were
Oh,
going to
that's
do a
right.
Shang-Chi
Yeah.
movie early on.
See, the problem is that these movies are such they're so big in concept that they have to keep doing them, and that's why it's so disjointed. Is like you can't get a momentum. Like Shang-Chi comes out is good to very good,
Yeah,
and you set up kind of like a pseudo sequelish thing at the end. You don't now we're 5, 6 years later. Brie Larson is when was the last time Brie Larson was in? Because she was in the Marvels, what, 2 years ago? But they had to reconfigure that because she was not likable from the marketing that they did, like from everything that they did. Like it was just like
right.
it's just a mess. So I feel like she's 100% right when you have that video of her like, I don't know, does anyone want me to do it again? Like when the guy's like, hey, you playing Captain Marvel again? And they're just like, I don't know.
Well, supposedly she's one of the leads in the next Avengers movie, the
It's
Doomsday
just
one.
too
It's
far
supposedly
away. I'm telling you, these
it is
movies
too
are
far away.
not these like that. It should have been a situation where that like they're not. We got our movies. That's it. I feel like the only way to say you want to save. Here we go. Awestruck Solutions Department. Here we go. Is my thought.
All right.
Uh, Pixar hasn't had a good. They've had good movies, sort of, but not good like original properties. Basically, the best movies they've had have been sequels, or now they just keep doing sequels. That's it, right? I would say
It's a
that.
mix. I
Yeah,
would say it's a mix.
Soul's really good, but then Ilio, is that out? Like there was something that came out that just
Wasn't
no one
Elementals
cared.
pretty well liked?
No, it did okay. It ended up making okay money because there was no other. I don't really figure a success should be because nothing else was out, so this ended up making the money, right? I don't think that's a success. Like Inside Out 2 was like almost like an apprehension. Well, okay, Moana 2, right, should have been great for everyone. No one cared about it. It came out, didn't do that well. No good word of mouth. No new songs.
It's not
It's out.
Pixar.
It's gone. You know,
Well,
right? That's
they
that was
have new
Pixar. But
songs. They're just like not,
listen, I don't.
Lin-Manuel
Right?
Miranda.
Yeah, it's just not. It's just not working. Anyway, so my thought was just like how many Toy Stories can you make? Because Tom Hanks, it looks like Tom Hanks. It sounds like Tom Hanks from Tom Hanks from. It's just Tom Hanks. So you can make
Well,
Toy Story 5.
I think at least two more. We're doing five and six, right?
Yeah, so you're gonna make those, they'll be fine. But so just do that to the Marvel Universe. Just make some type of mix of not quite Pixar, not quite uh, Capcom, like or whatever, Activision, whatever is the new
And you're right. It
thing.
needs to be a balance of new and old. Like, give us Doctor Strange 3,
Find
give us
something in
Thor
the middle.
5.
Find something in the
You know,
middle. Maybe not make it look like AI or whatever, but find something in the middle, and you can still continue those stories because that's the thing is that we can, what ends up
right,
happening, and like right now we're in the shit, right? Because we're going to be in the middle of a bunch of Avengers that we don't want. This happens literally in regular comic books. This happens, right? So that happens in
right.
Justice League. Justice League, you have the Detroit Justice League, right? Which everyone
Yeah,
liked initially, and then they hate it, and then they're like, okay, so you got Vibe, you got Geoforce, I think is in there, you got
Vixen. You
Gypsy,
got
Vixen, like you got, and they're just like, all right,
you.
let's get rid of this. You blow it up.
You think they're going? When was the last time we saw Gypsy? You think they'd still call her Gypsy? Think they have like a different
Nah,
name for her now?
yeah,
I don't think you can
and
call
then
her Gypsy anymore.
it won't be that fascinating, right? So you blow it up, and then what do? You do the original seven, then you do like then that's what's going to happen, right?
Yeah,
So
you do the Grant Morrison JLA. Then it's like,
yeah, you're
holy
going to do
crap,
Grant
this is what we wanted
exactly,
all along.
exactly.
So yeah,
So
I mean
like
that's what we're getting in Secret Wars. So we just got to get through Doomsday, and Doomsday might still be really good. I mean, all right, it'll be good, hands down.
But see, but Secret Wars is just going to be member berries. It's going to be Endgame. Endgame is more member berries. It's not that good of a movie. It's fine. It's just like it relies so much. I'm watching other movies. It's like the first episode of Loki cracked me up because I'm like, am I watching Loki watch movies? I'm watching Loki watch other things that Loki's in. It's just weird. It's just like it's so I don't know. And I know they kind of do that in comics where they'll have like a flashback or a splash page, so it kind of matches, but I just we're going to get a bad now we're going to get Thunderbolts as Dark Avengers, but at the end of the movie they're going to
Right.
say, "Hey, it's Dark Avengers." Okay, surprise. No one's surprised. Um, and that's the other thing too, because this is all being sourced from. There's no tension, you know. Like just looking at the marketing, it's like so it looks like Suicide Squad essentially, which Thunderbolts is villains, kind of is. Uh, what's her name's not Taskmaster's dead. She's gonna be dead real fast. Ghost might be dead real fast. Like, because most of the marketing stuff that they have, it just has a handful of them at the end, the bigger name actors. But if they make an Avengers team, it should be Bucky Cap. It should be, or Sam Wilson Cap and Bucky. And Black Panther's not there anymore, unfortunately. Like, and we can't have it. It should have been, again, it would have been great if it was Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther leading the Avengers. Uh, Ant-Man, I guess, Val Cap, I guess Val Cap. Doctor Strange, he's in it.
Listen,
Like,
we want to see them. Doctor Strange isn't in Doomsday. I don't think.
stupid.
Well, it's whatever his story is. It's taking him out of that movie, I think. Because what? Because Doomsday is going to be about what? The Fantastic Four coming to our universe, right?
Yeah, to me, the Fantastic Four movie is gonna fail at the
Is it
end
going to
because they're gonna
end?
have to shoehorn Robert Downey Jr. in it, which is gonna feel like that Kevin Feige is just like pushing him out, like on a fucking like Hannibal Lecter like thing. He's like, all right, here we go. So there he is. Like I just hate it. I hate the concept of Robert Downey Jr. because again, it doesn't make any sense in the grand scheme of things. It's like
He doesn't
that's
make sense to be Doctor Doom in that universe.
no. No,
He
but see,
he because
it also goes against like brand No Way Home concept because like just because we know them as different actors, they shouldn't be different people. They shouldn't look like different people in different universes. When you see the Council of Reeds, you would see nothing but Pedro Pascals. You're not going to see John Krasinski. That's because that's not it's a non-drawing. It's a different actor. So that's for us. That's a different thing, and that sucks. I think because again, what's fascinating about the Council of Reeds that Dale Eaglestrom's drawing is they all look like Reed Richards. Okay,
right.
so we're kind of screwed. So the second you don't make it the animation, there's a reason why the Turtles cartoons always look like the Turtles
Yeah, but
cartoons.
yeah, but look
They're
how
always look
shitty
like the Turtles.
look how
Really.
shitty all the Kangs looked when they were all the same actor. That scene looked horrible.
Well, that was just a bad scene. That was just a
It was a
bad idea.
bad scene. No, I
That was
I
just a bad
prefer.
idea.
Listen, I understand
But
what you're saying.
however, then you have him as Victor Timely, and you're like, awesome. So like
No, he
that's
was
not
great.
so it's more about the care. The care is not there. So I just feel like that we already had our run, but we got to keep making money. We got the license. Let's make that money. I
Listen,
would
and we
prefer it to be Pixar can make money, Marvel can make money, everybody wins. Or a
I
portion
prefer
of
using
Pixar.
the different actors. I like the member berries of like seeing John Krasinski and Alex Hyde White, and Miles Teller, maybe. I don't know, whatever. Let them be there.
I guess.
But more importantly,
So
Owen,
miserable about this.
Eon,
Eon Griffin.
Eon Griffin. Yeah,
Uh,
I want to see him, dude.
I
I,
guess. I
he
mean,
he
I want
he
people to
looks
get
like
paid.
Reed.
Yeah, I want people to get paid. Like, I mean, look, I don't want that. Like, I mean, like, I'm all about the like. I just feel like it's no longer comic books, right? When you can feel the producer's fingertips, it's no longer the stuff. Did I like No Way Home when I saw the movie? Sure, of course, but
Yeah,
it's not rewatchable because it doesn't make sense. When you think about it doesn't make
it
sense.
is. I'm going to completely disagree with you here. It's very rewatchable because people kept going back to the theater to rewatch it, and that's why it made $1.5 billion.
Right, but they're not watching it like they're not me. They're not watching like I'm watching it. They're
No.
watching it. It depends because you had three generations of people going to see it. You have Tom Holland people going to see it. You
Hmm.
had Andrew Garfield people going to see it. They're going to see their Spider-Man. All right. So I just, I okay. So take it to another. Here's an undeniable, right? Uh, Peter B. Parker, right? So every
right?
Peter Parker in that is looks like Peter Parker, basically. The only reason Miles is Spider-Man is because he's the like they do a better job of Miles inside of that. All right. But every that's tough. I'm trying to think of my what my point is here. I
So
just
you're
feel
saying
like
that Spider-Man Noir, I know what you're saying. Spider-Man
if
Noir takes off his
Spider-Man
mask, he's
Noir
going to
takes
look
off his
like
mask,
Peter
he
J.
like Peter.
Parker.
Right.
You know,
Correct.
I get it.
The other Spider-Man variants were things that happened, like the Indian Spider-Man. It's that event happened, but it's an Indian person Spider-Man. It's an like it's
But also,
that's
Mark,
different. Spider
here's
Punk
something
is
here's
someone
something
getting
else.
bitten
Okay.
by that
Let's say
spider.
let's say your mom and dad, when you're conceived, you just happen to be the luckiest sperm. Your dad
Yeah.
does a different position with your mom. A different sperm might have conceived. But he goes, you know what? I still like the name Mark. So this is still Mark
Oh
Leone. And
God,
Mark Leone could still go to school and by chance get bit by that spider.
this
Still
is a
become
terrible
Spider-Man.
argument. This is a really disgusting
It's still
argument, by the
Mark
way.
Leone, just a different sperm hit that. Your dad hit your mom a different way that day. Your dad's like,
Okay,
flip over, mom.
I have maybe not. Maybe we don't do any of that position thing, but uh, did you see the movie? It's the guy who directed Love Actually. What's it called? The Just in Time, something like that. It's Domhnall Gleeson and Rachel McAdams, right?
Okay.
You ever see it? It's where
No.
he gets in a closet. It's like the most low budget time travel movie ever.
I know what you're talking about.
He
I want
hit
to see it.
like yeah, Bill. It's really good, but
Yeah.
and it's not. I won't. I only like spoil a piece of it, but there to exactly what you're saying is that Bill Nye explains to his son that you can travel back in time in this wardrobe. So it's kind of like Blind Witch and Wardrobe. He literally gets
Yeah.
in the wardrobe, an outer, British wardrobe, closes it shut, shakes his
It's
hands
worse.
or whatever.
There's a worse time machine, you know. What was the name of the guy who voiced Peter B. Parker?
Jake Johnson
He
from
had a
New
TV
Girl.
show. He had a TV show where he got into a duffel bag, and that duffel bag put him back in time to like
It's,
the 1700s. It's a,
oh,
it's a dumb show, but I kind of like it.
I don't know. I like him, so I like his
And it's
delivery on everything,
and
so I
who's
can kind of deal
the
with it.
girl in it is so cute. I forget her name. It's not Minka Kelly. It's someone
Hmm.
like her though. Someone who anyway, but it's the same, you know. So he gets into a closet. So go on with your
So he gets in the closet. So Bill Nye explains it, but then the father explains it. Donald Gleason
Bill
one
Nye
time
the
gets in
science guy or Bill Nye the
Bill
actor.
Nighy. Yeah, Bill Nighy. Bill Nighy.
But yet the other one would have worked just as
Sean
well.
probably. Yeah.
They should have
Because
had
he's
him in it
explaining
explaining.
science.
Yeah.
In another universe, it's two different Bill Nyes. But
See, it's a
so
different universe.
so he gets in and like in the regular universe there, he's having, he can't get everything done in one day. So he decides like, I want to go back in time and try to fix something. He goes back in time for a little bit, comes back out and he goes downstairs and his son's no longer there, but there's a baby girl in like the height chair. And he's like, fuck. And then he goes to talk to his dad. He's like, Dad, what do I do? He's like, you can't do anything. Like you've already created this new tangent timeline and you don't have a son anymore. But he has the memories that he had 3 years with his son or something. It's like horrible. So
It is
like there's a
horrible.
lot of consequences in it, and it gets really melodramatic. And again, but that is what you're saying essentially
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Brian and I were
justify
having
the,
a
the Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland and to
yeah.
justify your concept of that
Yeah.
versus member
I've had
berries.
conversations. It might have been with Milligan about time travel. And what point would you go back to change? And I said, I can't go back any further than like October of 2010 because
Mhm.
that's when Kathy would have been pregnant with my second daughter. So I
Right,
can't change time anytime before that because anytime before that, I have a different kid or I lose a kid, you
right,
know,
right, right, right.
or, maybe. So it's like I can't change it before that,
No, that's
you
right.
know.
Yeah, no,
I
I
can't
get
go
that.
back in time and create The Walking Dead a year before Kirkman would have, or do something like that. I can't do that because then I don't
Yeah.
have my two kids.
That's a pretty good time. That's like a non-time travel movie. Did you ever see that? Ever see Yesterday with
No, but it's on my list. I know.
what I like that where he literally is riding his bike and he's a failing like folk musician and he gets hit by a car and there's like a cosmic shift and then the next day he's singing he's like he's just doing Yesterday on his guitar and someone's like, "Did you just write that?" And he's like, "No, it's the Beatles." And in this universe, no one knows who the Beatles are.
Yeah,
Uh, but that and then there's other then anyway, that's pretty geez, I want to say it's by the same guy. I want to say it's like the Love Actually guy again. I feel like that's the same, or at least he wrote it. It's funny that guy's obsessed with time travel and
No, I
you
get it,
know,
dude. I've done a little
yeah,
thing of like if I could dimension hop, I always used to joke like I would go to dimension where the Nicolas Cage Superman movie happened and bring that Blu-ray here. But my luck would probably be like a red ray or a green ray, and it wouldn't work on our Blu-ray players.
right.
You know, it'd be something stupid.
Right.
Or
Yeah,
you go to
there's
that
some
universe
trouble.
where Alan Moore writes Superman for 5 years and they don't use John Byrne. They, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
what's
we
that
talk about that,
universe?
like what if, what if Twilight of the Superheroes came out, or who drew it, or
Right, right.
we think about that quite a bit. Yeah, what's funny about a real world thing about that movie, the Yesterday movie, is that the guy who directed, I want to say it's Richard something, gosh, I forget, but he literally told, so Ed Sheeran's in it as Ed Sheeran,
Right.
okay? And Ed Sheeran's helping like produce these fake Beatle records with the guy who says, "Oh, I just made up these lyrics. Here's the Beatles stuff," right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then that guy starts to get a major guilt trip because again, he didn't do it. And then Ed Sheeran's trying to change the words to "Hey, Hey Jude" to "Hey Dude," and like there's certain things like we can't change it. No. But what's funny about that is that the director straight up in an interview, and just because he knew through people, asked Chris Martin to be in it as that character. Chris Martin's like, no, I scheduling conflict, can't do it. And he had Ed Sheeran, and Ed Sheeran's like, did you ask anyone else? And they were like, oh no. And then he found out he already knew that someone else was asked in this. He's like, but I'll take it because it's a gig and it'll be
Yeah.
cool. But I think it's funny, like he literally knew, he's like, well, I'll take the gig. That's fine. So, um,
Ed Sheeran, weirdest cameo on Game of Thrones.
what was he? A dead body or something? Or
He's like a singer. He's like singing. It's just like he's like a soldier
oh,
in this group of
oh,
guys, and just happens to be singing like a little, Game of Thrones shanty or something.
that's funny.
Yeah,
That's funny.
it's weird, but it's
Uh,
cool.
that's it for the news for me. I didn't know. I thought we might have pulled some other stuff, but we were kind of just like freewheeling this morning,
Yeah, we
for stuff.
freewheel. We're like usually Mark's super prepared, totally
Not
unlike
prepared this
Mark.
week. No
He's like,
way.
Rob, I don't. Let's just skip the news. I'm like, no, Mark. Let's just take. We'll take 10, 20 minutes.
Yeah,
You
we'll still
know,
have an hour and a half of video footage to talk for sure.
this is
So
this is us unprepared. So you can imagine that a prepared show is much better, but it's not.
it's not.
But you can
It's not.
imagine it would be better.
You can imagine.
So that's it for the news,
Hey, if we
everyone.
didn't have this show, I wouldn't have to think about my parents having different sexual
You're
positions.
right.
So thanks, Rob.
That's right. You can imagine your dad being like, flip over, honey, slap that ass.
Oh my God.
Different Mark. Different Mark. You know what's
Oh
funny?
my,
I don't know what your mom looks like. I only know what your dad looks like, and that's a scary enough thought.
come on, man.
You know,
We need to get
but I
out of
don't
this
picture your
soon.
dad. I don't picture your dad of 45 years ago. I picture your dad of
Oh,
like today being like
oh,
70, like just the mess.
all right. What kind of drugs do I have around here? I need to get something. I need this out of
Can
my
you?
brain ASAP. I have no
Yeah, you need
alcohol in the
something.
house. Crap. Okay. All right. I get this out of my brain somehow. I got to wash it out.
Wash it out. Everyone come
Killing me.
back for the week. We got reviews day and
Tuesday
our
special.
deep dive review into Last Blood #1.
Correct. Coming up. Doing it live.
Spoilers.
Not doing it live.
We're doing it live,
We're
but you're
doing it live.
not seeing it live.
Not seeing it live. Right. All right, everyone. We'll see you soon. Like, share, and
Peace.
subscribe. Send to a friend. Please stop thinking about my parents having sex in different
Smash
positions.
that button like Mark's dad smashes that ex-wife of his.
God damn it. Okay.